if you didn't get excited about the gospel when they came up here, there's something wrong with you. Because they came up here and they showed you what celebrating God is all about. And that's what we should be doing, celebrating God. And so last week we talked about Joshua and how they crossed the Jordan and at the water's edge. This week we're going to finish this two-part series. We're going to talk about crossing the Jordan, building a memorial. Crossing the Jordan, building a memorial. If you will stand, please, we're going to read from Joshua chapter 4, verses 1 through 8 and 19 through 24. We read them quickly. If you bear with us, we might get out of here before 11:45. Hallelujah. I'll be reading from the King James. Joshua chapter 4, verses 1 through 8 and 19 through 24. Reading then. And it came to pass when the people were clean passed over Jordan, that the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, Take ye 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe a man. And command ye them, saying, Take ye hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's foot stood firm, 12 stones. And ye shall carry them over with you, and leave them in a lodging place, where ye shall lodge this night. Then Joshua called the 12 men whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And Joshua said unto them, Pass over before the ark of the Lord your God in the midst of Jordan, and take up upon you every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. That this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean ye these stones, or what do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when it passed over Jordan. The waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did as Joshua commanded, and took up 12 stones out of the midst of Jordan. And as the Lord spake unto Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them into the place where they lodged, and laid them down there. Verse 19. And the people came up out of Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and encamped in Gilgal, which means rolling away, in the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan, and Joshua pitched in Gilgal. And he spake unto the children of Israel, saying, When your children shall ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Israel came over this Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you, until you was passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us, until we were gone over. That all the people of the earth might know the hand of the Lord, that it is mighty, that ye might fear the Lord your God forever. You may be seated. We want to talk about three things and get out of here today. If you're going to build a memorial, it gives us three things. It gives us a witness to the power of God. It gives us a witness to the community of God. And then it gives us a witness about the heart of God. Three things. It gives us a witness to the power of God. It gives us a witness about the community of God. And it gives us a witness about the heart of God. So what God did was he told Joshua, he commanded Joshua, he says, take 12 men out of the tribe of Israel. 12 men from each tribe of man. And when they go into the water where the priest is, I want you to take up 12 stones. Now notice something in this verse 8. It said, and the children of Israel did as Joshua commanded them. Not all the children was told to go get the stones. But those 12 represented all the children of Israel. That's what they represent. So that's where we at with those 12 stones, and we see that they did what Joshua told them to do. But I have a question for each and every one of us. Are we doing what God has called us to do? Are we doing what God has called us to do? Children, let me ask you a question. Is it okay if I pick on parents today? I can't hear you. Stand up and tell me. Stand up and tell me. All the children, stand up and tell me. All the children. That's all right. Stand up. We got some more young adults too. 18, 19. Stand up. And I know y'all don't get this opportunity all the time. So tell me, is it okay if I pick on parents today? Yeah. One more time. Yeah. Thank you very much. When you get in trouble, when you go home, it's not my fault. Because you told me to do it. But notice what God told Joshua to tell the people. When your children ask you, what does this mean to them? You tell them. You tell them what it means to you when Christ delivered you from sin. You tell them what it means to you when God brought you over your Jordan. I mean, it didn't say right before, it said, you fathers and you mothers, you tell your children what Christianity means to you. Don't let the TV tell them. Don't let the radio tell them. You tell them what Christianity means to you. You tell them then that we build a memorial with our lives. Cornelius did it. In Acts chapter 10, God said, Cornelius, in verse 4, he said, your prayers and your charitable deeds have come up for a memorial before me. But a lot of us are not living our lives the way that God would have us to live our lives, so our lives can't tell our children anything. That's just truth. And truth hurts sometimes. And when the truth was told to me, Reverend Ford, you're not doing right. You're not living right. Then I had to what? I had to get in line with the truth and do what God has called me to do. You have to tell them that you didn't get that great job in your own strength. You have to tell them that you don't have all these great things that you have because they just came out of thin air. You have to tell them that God in His great power got you the things that you have today. You build a memorial with your life, and it'll give them a witness to the power of God. Changed lives speak louder than words. The problem is a lot of times we want to tell people that we're saved, but we won't show people that we're saved. The children of Israel were told, you tell your children. Y'all like this, huh? Because your parents are always telling you something. You tell your children that God brought us out with a mighty hand. In other words, it was all about the power of God when He dried up the Jordan on both sides and we walked over on dry land. And there's some parents in here, you didn't know how you was going to make it over. You didn't have any food, you didn't have a job, but God with His great power opened up a door for you, but God with His great power brought some food to you, but God with His great power did some great things in your life, and you ought to live that way so you can tell your children about the great power of God. It gives witness to His power. Children need to know about the power of God for themselves, but they can only see it in us. Husband and wives, quit fussing all the time at home. They're not seeing Christ in that.